The Twins survive at Yankee Stadium in the series finale. They won. They beat the Yankees. We're going to break it down on today's Locked On Twins postcast.
You are Locked On Twins postcast, part of Locked On Sports Minnesota, your team every day.
And welcome to our Locked On Twins postcast, another edition. It's Thursday, September 8th. I'm the host of Locked On Twins, Nash Walker, here with writer and reporter at Access Twins, Mr. Brandon Warren. B-Dubs has the jersey on. It's because it's NFL opening night, and you can go play at Bet Online. It's the best place to go. We got October baseball coming up. The NFL has started. The Vikes are going to play Sunday. I'm sure they won't break our hearts, and maybe they won't break your bet slip at Bet Online. Bet Online is where the game starts. Brandon, let me get your instant reaction to this Twins win at Yankee Stadium.
Well, if people are big fans and have been watching our titles of these, the most recent one was Twins lose extremely winnable game. And so we had our off-air production meeting, which usually lasts about 30 seconds, and we flipped the script. And honestly, I'm stunned. I thought for sure the Twins had lost that game every which way to October, and man alive, Michael Fulmer showing some grit, showing some gut there. It's never easy though. It's just never easy. And a lot of things we can diagnose as far as why did they do this? What was this all about? But they got the W. That's all we got to keep coming back to. They got the W.
They got the W, and Gavin says, man, it took until September 8th for Correa's first signature moment. You're right, Gavin, but I will say, Correa had a signature moment in Cleveland to give the Twins a lead early. I know there's a couple moments this year, but I remember one in Cleveland, hit a big home run, and then Pagan blew the lead, and the Twins, I think, ended up losing the game. So you sometimes forget the signature moments, but I agree that this is one of those that led to a win.
Pagan struggling against Cleveland, that's not ringing a bell. And you know what? Correa had that play last night that kept the game going. So signature moments that lead to wins and just signature moments, two different discussions. But at the same time, too, you bring the guy in to get you those W's. And by the way, this was a nice win. Win number 69 for the Twins this season.
That's a big one. And that's a big swing for Carlos Correa. And this is like, baseball is just so beautiful because the ties are always – the ends of the ties are always finished, right? Greg Weisser comes in game one yesterday with the bases loaded, throws Correa a first pitch slider. He pops it up and doesn't score that run. From third, Weisser comes in again today, and Correa hits the slider out for a homer. It's fun to watch a 4-game series kind of play out like that.
I said it to somebody on Twitter. It was that if you wrote the script for this series, Hollywood would have thrown it away and said it was unrealistic. And to Correa coming back to get Weissert that way after he looked just so lost against him on that one pitch. Yeah, man, it gives you the chills just because it is such a beautiful game. And just incredible how one game like this can wave away the last three, which were just so brutal and miserable because you're only as good as your last game. And tomorrow you can start a winning streak. So let's see if the Twins can do that.
Short-term memory, and Gavin says, is it time to seriously start worrying about Lopez? I mean, today, I think the pitch mix is a problem, Brandon. Like, this is the second time we've seen a changeup in a huge count on a big pitch to a right-handed hitter. First, it was Max Stassi in Anaheim. I'm sure there's been more, but he yanked that pitch, and is that his fourth best pitch? Like, fat force or sinker, slider, curveball, and changeup 4. I mean, you could argue it's 3, but against a right-handed hitter, I just don't understand that in a full count.
No, I haven't been impressed with Gary Sanchez's ability to call games recently. He was still in there at that point, right? Yeah, he didn't.
Yep.
He didn't come out for Leon until Hamilton, who got picked off, which was hilarious. He didn't get picked off for Leon. Or he didn't get replaced by Leon until late. So, I mean, Gary, 3 hits tonight, obviously comfortable back in his old stomping grounds offensively. But, the defense leaving something to be desired. And that includes pitch calling where, hard to be impressed with him lately. I think he's just maybe thinking too deeply, game within the game, and you want to get beat on your best, and that's definitely not Jorge Lopez's best pitch, not even close.
He got squeezed. I mean, that was egregious, but so on brand for Yankee Stadium. You can't believe it, but you're not surprised, right? It like goes both ways. It was a crazy squeeze on one pitch, maybe even two, that he got squeezed. That kind of changed the count, changed the inning. I'm not worried about him. I don't know how you feel, Brandon. I mean, at certain points, he's got to start making pitches, and they need to adjust in certain counts, but the stuff's there. He's not giving up homers, knock on wood. Like, he's not giving up a lot of hard contact. So until that starts happening, I still am hopeful for him.
Well, and the nice thing is too, he's such a heavy sinker guy with the grounders that when the ball is in play, death by a bunch of paper cuts is certainly frustrating, but it's a lot better than giving up homers. As we got company.
He's excited. They're excited about the win.
Yeah. Rocco, my dog Rocco saw the W and he's pretty excited. So, yeah, I hope that's not coming through too loud, but
it's all right. You're good. You're
back. Where was I again?
Lopez.
Lost my train of thought. Yeah. So grounders are always going to stay in the yard. They're going to usually be singles, not extra base hits. So the damage control for him will come down to if he can keep from walking guys, and he still does, like you said, have to find that swing and miss pitch, whether it's the slider. I don't think it's going to be the changeup. I think that the changeup needs to be scrapped for now. I think he needs to get back to what made him successful in Baltimore. So I'm going to probably dig under the hood and see what things have changed for him, because he's not quite there right now.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff, as you said, the stuff looks good. He's not as much 99 with the sinker, more 97, 98. But yeah, I agree. Like Anthony says, I agree with Anthony saying he refuses to throw a sinker. He keeps throwing the god-awful changeup whenever he should throw a sinker. I think the changeup is better than I'm letting on. I think it's a usable pitch against lefties in certain counts to work it off the sinker. But, I mean, against a righty, I just don't understand it, especially on the biggest pitch of the game.
Well, and we get so deep into the analytics and like pitch effects. And so you look at a guy who throws a changeup maybe 7% of the time, and it's got a 300 OPS against. So you're like, well, why doesn't he throw it more often? Well, for the same reason that a guy doesn't throw sliders nonstop because it's such a good pitch, because one, when hitters see it more, it becomes less effective. Two, it's kind of like that making the cake entirely out of frosting theory. Maybe it's just a theory I made up, but the numbers exist in a vacuum because of how that usage has happened. So again, if you show a guy your slider nonstop, unless you're Matt Whistler, who I guess is a free agent now, maybe bad example, but like Mariano Rivera and the cutter, you have to have that balance in there. So maybe they think there's something in there in terms of the changeup with Lopez. And I'm not saying there's not, but right now, I don't need to see any more of it until he figures out how to just pump the sinker and get swings and misses with the slider.
I love that. I love that analogy. And I think, like, if people are wondering what Brandon's saying at all, I think how I think of it is Yohan Duran's curveball. It's a good pitch on its own, but what makes that an elite pitch is that he throws 103, because hitters are geared up. It's the sequence. It's the mix. Yeah. Is that kind of what you're saying there?
Yeah, well, and I evoked this memory before, but Bartolo Colon back in the day, he could throw 96 when 96 was a big deal, but he waited until the 7th or 8th inning and then emptied out the tank. Different game, different situation, but anytime you can get through, let's say the first time of the order throwing mostly fastballs, and then you switch to, mixing it off speed and starting guys with breaking balls, it's all the game within the game. And so Yohan Duran's curve, yeah, it might be awesome in a vacuum, but there's also this absence makes the heart grow fonder kind of deal in play too. So it's all a dance, and it's all easy for guys like you and me to second guess, but we have to remember that the opposite of what didn't work was also not guaranteed to work, which I think people miss sometimes. And again, I'll restate it. Because you see something that didn't work, whatever you say that they didn't do doesn't mean it was going to work instead. And I think people lose sight of that. And again, I'm probably not making that much sense because I'm saying too many words. But yeah, I think it's too black and white with a lot of people when it comes to results and process and that sort of thing.
I follow you up. Twins won 1 of 4, and I want to talk to Samson. Says hang the banner. Yeah, they won 1 game of the 4. Like, that's the perception we have to keep in mind here. But now, after this series, they have all American League Central -3 games at home against the Angels. So you're going to see a lot of Cleveland, a lot of Chicago, some Detroit, I think Kansas City, maybe one more Kansas City series in there, and then the Angels. That's it. I think that's it for them the rest of the way. So this is it's favorable for the Twins. I mean, I think that's true. And now you're going to see the strength of schedule. It's going to even out even more among the three teams, but they're a game and a half back. And this series this weekend is massive.
I looked at the schedule this morning because I had a radio hit elsewhere, and it was just like, yeah, after this Yankees game, the Twins really have nobody on the schedule to quote unquote fear. I mean, the AL is still kind of not really top heavy. I mean, I think Houston's great, but I think the Yankees are vulnerable for as good as they seem. The Blue Jays have not been as good as we had expected. Certainly don't think the Rays or Mariners are going to run away with anything. So I think the Twins have a chance to do some damage, but the fact that they're playing again down the stretch, all these Central teams, and then the Angels for just kind of a weird 3-gamer in there, to me, just suggests that they're in charge of their own destiny as much as you can be down a game and a half with, I believe, 26 left to go. So it starts tomorrow. It starts against Cleveland, and we're going to be here for it, and it's going to be exciting. I'm ready.
Again, from I Want to Talk to Samson, Winfeld, good reminder, should minimum split, and a lot of mental mistakes from players and coaches. I agree, need a new third base coach. I love Tommy, but I think what I want to take from that is, even with all of that, and I think that's kind of the feeling we've had for most of the year, even with all of it, the runway starts now again, right? They have 8 games against Cleveland. The runway starts now, and you are a game and a half back, but you can make that up Saturday night. You could erase that with 2 wins, at home. So it's like, for as bad as things have gone, I don't think we've been easy on them in how bad things have gone. Like, things have gone poorly for months now, but now it starts, and now we go. And that's hyping your pup up. He's excited. We're all excited.
He's fired up.
Fired up. The runway starts right now. Runway starts right now for the Twins.
I don't know what's going on with this guy. There's nothing going on at my house right now. Yeah. Every time we've wanted to bury this season, whether it's been recently or even a while ago, because the old saying was the Twins will be in third by the end of the weekend. And I swear we probably have heard that every weekend since like mid-May. And did it happen at some point? Yeah. But how many times did people say it before it actually happened? So there's runway, and it's put up or shut up time, which I feel like I've said about 5 times on the show.
We both have said that for a long time, but it's like especially true now. It's especially true now.
Yes, for sure. So I'm going to be entertained. someone's pointing out my haircut.
People are also saying you got the fade. People are wondering, do you have the fade?
That's Gavin. Yeah, so I got a barber. I go to a guy.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah, he's really good. So hit me up offline.
Gavin is really into the hair tonight.
Hit me up offline. I'll give you the guy's details. He's very good.
Hopefully the Twins get a couple of big wins, maybe 3 this weekend against Cleveland at home. Brandon Warren, Nash Walker, this is a Locked On Twins postcast. Thanks so much for joining us. And as you said, 26 games left. We're going to be here, so join us, and should be fun.